What is up, YouTube? If you have a horse or any kind of leather goods and social media, you've probably heard of Clyde's leather cream. They've been running ads like this for crazy. The kind people over at Clyde's wanted to send me some stuff so I could try it out and give them their honest opinion. And I told them, if your product is trash, I'm not gonna lie to the people. So they had the confidence and trust that I would like this stuff to tell the absolute honest truth, and that's what I'm gonna give you guys. So here's my honest opinion. They sent me their traditional moisturizing cream, which seems to be just their regular conditioner, and then they also sent me their recoloring balm, which is like never before seen conditioner mixed with some kind of stain. I haven't used this product at all whatsoever. I wanted to do it first time on camera for you guys. They sent this applicator sponge, this little brush, and I don't know what this is over here. I'm opening it stuff. You know me, I don't like to read instructions. I'm one of those dudes. I'll read them in a second. And then they also sent me this, ooh, gloves, because they're thinking of you. Okay, shout out Clyde's, good call. We got a little instruction sheet. Use a microfiber towel and spot cleaner to clean the surface of your leather, which we already did. I got a saddle back there. We're going to try and recolor and see how that goes. I already got it cleaned and prepped, so that way we can just get into the good stuff. Apply conservative amount of balm using sponge, rub in circular motions until absorbed. Sounds about right. Repeat step 2 until desired surface color is met. Allow to cure for 24 to 36 hours. So we're gonna jump right into this. I had my own shop gloves, but I will be using the Clyde's gloves to give you guys the most authentic Clyde's experience. I do have giant hands, so I may or may not blow these gloves out. So I won't hold it against Clyde's. These seem like regular sized gloves. I unfortunately have ginormous hands. You know, so my ginormous hands were no match for Clyde's gloves, which is fine. You're lucky you even get gloves in the first place, in my opinion. It's the first leather care stain product that comes with gloves, so they get some kind of points for that. So I'm gonna start with their regular moisturizing cream. This seems to be conditioner. I would be going in with glove, but I'm trying to see the consistency. Kind of has a little bit of a funky consistency. Smells good. Doesn't smell chemically. It's a good start. It seems like a little gritty, like I think whatever, it has like these little kind of grains of stuff, but when you massage it in, they disappear. So I don't know what kind of technology that is, but I'm interested. I'm gonna use good old little piece of synthetic fleece we got laying around here in the shop. I'm gonna give it a little moisture. Ooh, okay, okay. It is not playing around. So here we go. It is like, okay, Clyde's, I see you. Trying to be a household name and all that. So this is actually moisturizing pretty damn well. Normally, it takes like oil for me to get this kind of darkness out of this hide. So it's definitely pretty good conditioner. It's like also really clear. So if this was like a more yellow or a kind of a dirtier color to it, I would say that it's just maybe discoloring it a little bit, because there are some really popular conditioners out there that are really just kind of dirty, and I feel like it's just kind of making the surface like all gross and mucky. Skidmore's is definitely the one that comes to mind. I feel like I don't even need to really do much more testing on it. I'm actually really impressed with this. So far, their regular conditioner is a win in my book. I really didn't think I was gonna be that impressed with their conditioner, but this conditioner is proper. Clyde's regular conditioner, boom. At least up to this point, 10 out of 10. We'll see how it fares overnight. Okay, we're gonna switch it over to the recoloring balm. I wanna try it out on plain leather just to see what we're dealing with. It's my understanding that this is kind of like, they're calling it recoloring balm. If it was just stain, I feel like they would just call it recoloring solution or something. But Because it has balm, I feel like it implies that it is a little bit of a moisturizer, which just by the texture of it really seems to be kind of like it's just conditioner mixed with some kind of stain. We'll see how it goes. I'm smelling how chemically it smells. I work with a lot of chemicals. Maybe that's why I lost so many brain cells, but it says you're supposed to rub it in with the sponge, but I'm gonna get it off my fingers and I will, you know what, I'm gonna rub it in with my finger and see what it does. Now, I don't expect this to turn like solid black. Oh, yeah, that is exactly what it is. Okay. 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 I see it now. It is kind of got like a waxy thing going for it. Let me see if it just applies a little bit different if I use the sponge. Oh yeah, you're definitely probably supposed to use the sponge. So if you use the sponge, it doesn't really cake on so crazy, but it does give it a little dinge. It does give it a nice change of color. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to ask those guys, what is in their technology? I didn't know what I thought it was gonna do, but this is what it did. Maybe if I put a second coat, can I get that dark color? So it seems like you want to kind of cake it on. You don't want to spread it around too much. If you spread it around, it'll get thin and kind of rub off in some spots. It really feels like it's playing like wax. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this is somehow stain, like liquid black stain, like suspended in like a wax or something. And as it's hitting the leather, it's absorbing the stain part of it, and then the wax is almost like remaining on the top is what it really seems like, because it did give it a little bit of a waxy finish. I really should try and wait to buff this a little bit, so it should be cured before I start trying to buff it, but I'm just gonna, for funsies and shits and gigs, check it out. So that is exactly what it looks like. It's gonna be hard to see on camera, but you gotta take my word for it. It is something to do with wax and the stain. Like I've totally buffed it out, and this patch right here is totally slick. This part right here is definitely like a little more waxy and like finished. I feel confident enough to give it a shot on this saddleback here. Thank you, Taylor Villarreal, for donating her saddle for this video and donating it to the cause. She had also seen advertisements for Clyde's and was very interested. So match made in heaven, destiny, quantum universe, whatever you want to call it, it's all working out. So I'm gonna try and get some solid before angles. This is a very tired black saddle that is contemplating whether it wants to be black or not anymore. It's right on that edge of about to be brown. I'm gonna use it on her back cinch first, just to get a feel for it before I do the entire saddle. Hopefully we can breathe some more life into this black. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, Clydes, I see you. I see what you're doing now. Lost my sponge. Curse these giant hands. Okay, well I think that's pretty damn obvious. It does what it says it does. Gonna run it on these edges. This is working so great. I'll tell you one thing I'm noticing right off the jump. This seems to work almost so good that you're gonna have to do a really thorough job to get all of the nooks and crannies. Like you're gonna just be able to see any little spot that you didn't get with this. We'll see how it goes. Okay, Clydes. Okay, Clydes. Well, there we go. Clyde's works, and honestly, way better than I thought it was going to. I'm thoroughly impressed. Shout out Clyde's. So honestly, this is working great. I'm actually kind of excited to see what it does to the saddle. This is kind of weird. I honestly did not have this much faith in this product. Definitely turned a skeptic into a pretty solid fan. We're gonna see how it does on the saddle. Should obviously do the same as the tack, but we'll see how big of a contrast we get. Just get it rolling. Impressive, Okay, we're right about to hit that halfway point. This is where it gets interesting. For those of you who don't know, the strings are usually made out of latigo, which is a little bit of a different leather than the rest of the saddle's made out of. Me and Taylor both agreed that we would give it a shot to see if these would turn black. So as you can see, they're pretty dang red. We say we're gonna give it a try, so let's check it out. You can't tell, they're super black. So that works really good. So we're halfway through applying it. It's kind of got a sticky, you could tell it's still a little moist and not quite ready, but I mean, you could really see the difference in how dull this is here versus how shiny this is here. It just needs to get, like I said, buffed out, and that should go away. We're gonna wrap it up. So it's all applied. It is a little textury, which I have a feeling I'm going to just have to buff it all off. I also applied it like a regular consumer. Usually, like if I was doing this and you were coming into my shop for a recoloring, I would take your conchos and like do it way more kind of thorough. But for the sake of this video, I did it the way I thought a normal consumer would use this product. So just with a little bit of water, you can get it off conchos. I'm gonna see what this does. Wipe it down a little moist. Oh, I think that just solved our streak problem too. Okay, there we go. I might have even applied too much as I was going. That's maybe why I got so much streaks, but they definitely do buff off. So I'm gonna fidget with this thing a little bit more, let it sit overnight. So at this point, I'm pretty dang impressed. It kind of went on swirly and thick. Wiped it off with a little bit of a damp towel. All the buff marks seem to go away, but I mean, it's definitely a different color. Looks great. We'll see how it does, and it's gonna cure overnight. I'm gonna send Taylor on one test ride, maybe 2 test rides, and like we could see how much, you know, if any rubs off, and you know what we think in a couple days after this has already been applied before I give it my final seal of approval. But as of right now, I'm very impressed, and only time will tell. We'll check back in with you right now. So all in all, I think Clyde's is a pretty great product, especially for just everyday people who, you know, oil and condition their saddles. This might breathe a little bit of extra life into your saddle. I know, at least for me personally, when things are getting old and beat up, they're just, the luster's kind of wore off on them. So this would be a great way to maybe spruce your saddle up if you're feeling like it's looking old and dilapidated, but it works fine. You know, you might find a whole new appreciation for your saddle now that it's all kind of shined up and brought back to life some. 2 super important things though, if you do plan on going out and getting this product. Number 1, make sure you have plenty of ventilation. Do not do it indoors. Make sure you're either outdoors or in a barn or in just somewhere with plenty good ventilation. There is dye in the product, so usually with dyes there's comes a bit of chemical stuff, so you don't want to get a headache for sure. And second, for the folks out there who have Western saddles, English saddles, this won't apply to you guys, but for Western folks, make sure when you are moving your saddle around or lifting flaps and stuff, your hands may have stain on them and stuff. And there was a couple times where I felt myself reaching underneath the skirts of the saddle. I got super lucky, to be honest. That I just didn't really think about it when I was doing it because it kind of was all over my hands. So other than that, that's totally not, on Clyde's fault at all. That's just something. Maybe I'm just super dumb and don't remember things. Like, it takes me 8 times to try something before I actually figure out, not to put my hand under the saddle. But other than that, I think it's a pretty neat product. I would recommend giving it a try. See what you guys think. Also, huge shout out to their conditioner. It's definitely a little different than what I'm normally used to using. It definitely has a little bit of a waxy component and finish. I think it's super neat. What these guys are doing is kind of out of the ordinary, and I think it's interesting, which is not very common in like the horse world and the tack world. Everything's been so passed down from generation to generation. Like, I think anybody that can kind of do anything interesting, especially in the leather care department, I don't know. I would highly recommend giving it a try. It's pretty sweet. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to watch my dumbass do stuff on the internet. So, thank you guys a bunch. Share with your friends, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. It means a lot. It's been Brian Sosak. I'm gonna sign out, and I'll catch my leather fam next time.